Hi everyone! It's been a while since I've done a video, so I thought, okay, let's try it. This is Holly with Keep Those Scissors Flying, and I'm going to show you how to do, there it is. Okay, this watercolored effect in this card and in this one. This is using actually ink and water, surprisingly enough. Okay, let's get started. Okay, the first thing we're going to do is we're going to ink up our image, and I'm going to use the September stamp of the month called Paper Gardens by Close to My Heart. Love this set. And you really don't want it a super crisp image, you want it more the second generation. So I'm going to ink it up. Sorry that the camera's shaking. So let's ink it and stamp it off. And I really should have a foam mat under it, so let's try that again. Let's ink it up again. And stamp off. Okay. That's fine that we have a little extra up there. It's totally fine. Okay, so I have my image. And then using the new ink called Eggplant, I'm going to squeeze some here in the lid. I'm going to squeeze some Canary in the lid. I'm going to squeeze some Thistle in my lid. And a little bit of New England Ivy. Scoot that over there. And some Fern. So, now I'm just using that as my palette, okay? So using an ink brush, and I really like this one, which used to be by Close to My Heart, but now we no longer have it, so I'm going to have to actually play using a paint brush. So let's get started with some of these green the green leaves. So I'm going to pull some off from the ink pad from the lid. I hope you can still hear me. I have to sit in order to get this. And I'm just lightly touching my paper. I really haven't squeezed much because this pen actually has a reservoir of water in it. And I might want a little bit more water to come out. So I'm just going to touch it over there. Squeeze it again. There we go. So I'm just going to keep doing that along my edges that I want to be green. I'm going to go over this one. And then as it starts to dry, maybe I want a little more green on that edge. So I'm going to bring a little more in. Okay? So we're going to let that dry, and I'm going to go play with some of these flowers. Okay, so let's kind of like look at our image again so that we know right where some flowers are. So here's our image. So let's work on this upper flower up here. So I'm going to use my eggplant, and I'm going to start to bring it in. Now, since I didn't get it all second generation, I'm actually going to use some of that's already on my paper to help push it aside and start pushing. And push a little more, and all you're really doing is making sure that that water is getting over your image. And this is just regular cardstock today. I haven't used anything different. It's the water and the ink. So let's bring in some more of the eggplant. Okay, let's clean a little bit of my brush. I'm going to bring in a little bit of this thistle because it's a little softer than my tips. So let's go here with a little bit of thistle and some thistle there. Okay, let's clean that off. we're going to let that dry because then we're going to bring in some of the yellow in there in just a little bit after it dries a little. I'm going to add some yellow though to these berries. Let's clean that off. While this is all drying, we're going to bring in now a little bit of New England ivy. And I'm just going to touch it ever so lightly on that outer edge. Close to My Heart did something very similar in the Seasonal Expressions 1 that will be coming out shortly, the holiday edition, and that comes out September 1st. So I thought, well, I'm going to start to play a little with it. And it's okay if it starts to mush around. It's totally fine. So, but the important thing was really to try using your image as a second generation. If it's first generation, it's going to be more like this, and it's very hard to smush the ink around, so to speak. So I'm just following along, adding some of my darker green to help define the areas. Okay, I hope that helps you. I will finish it in just a little bit and then bring it back on. Thank you.